As someone who doesn't play Metroidvania style games very often, I found myself intrigued when I first heard about the Metroidvania style game F.I.S.T, short for Forged in Shadow Torch, a genre that consistently seems to get praised for intense challenges and long-running franchises such as Castlevania and Metroid, of course. There is something that seemed very inviting about this game, whether that be the colorful and almost neo-noir world, the unique cast of characters, or the simple and rewarding gameplay. There is something here for everyone who would dare to explore it. Much to my surprise when I learned about F.I.S.T, this actually launched nearly 2 years ago, back in 2021 across many other platforms, including PC, and just now has seen its launch for the Xbox. As soon as I watched the trailer, it was a must-play for me, and I was not disappointed from start to finish. Now, Metroidvania games, as you are probably well aware, involve a ton of combat, exploration, and above all else, backtracking. Lots and lots of backtracking. There can also be challenging areas to navigate, and all of this is present in F.I.S.T. However, it never manages to overcomplicate things within the game. Each environment is very unique and has some incredible details, and if this wasn't a side-scrolling adventure, you'd be somewhat understandable in just thinking that this world could be vast. It makes you want to learn more about the world. Now, part of that is the simple backstory. You play as a former resistance soldier, Rayton, who has a tired disposition about himself. You're up against this army of robots called the Iron Dogs, and discovering who their leader is only leads to more questions about both the past and the present. It doesn't reinvent the wheel on storytelling, but I was still very engaged and definitely wanted to further progress in the story. This type of world and the characters I could easily see expanded in a more three-dimensional world, and it definitely gave me some darker, more serious vibes of 90s mascots like Spyro the Dragon or Crash Bandicoot even. Sort of. It may be a stretch, but trust me, it does not disappoint. Again, it's a great cast of characters, the adventure itself never overstays its welcome, and I completed that main story within about 15 hours of just straight up story work throughout the campaign. And then to complete the game 100% achievements and all on Xbox took me between 35 and 40 hours. Now, some people, for those of you who are achievement hunters, apparently have even completed this game in as little as 15 hours, and I feel like that's a stretch. But again, I'm not a Metroidvania master here by any means, but I tip my hat off to any of you folks out there that did everything in this game that quick. Now, in terms of the gameplay, you get some simple combat using a mechanized suit that is made exclusively for Ray. It consists of a giant fist, a drill, and an electric whip. And that electric whip especially will give you some serious whiplash vibes from Iron Man 2. Each can help in a variety of situations, both combat and non-combat. Certain moves can help take out enemy shields or even help you get through locked doors and passages. Each has a different style and strategy you can take during combat. However, I never felt like I was forced to use one of any of the three. Now, I did stick mainly to the fist in most combat situations, and there's nothing particularly wrong with going with one specific weapon for most of the game. That could have been by design, just to give players a little bit more direct choice on their style of play. Enemies throughout the game are vast, ranging from your typical grunts to flying enemies, and even some really challenging boss fights, both ones that are story-specific as well as the optional ones. Hit your enemies enough and you'll be treated to a cool execution prompt with a short animation that treats you to extra money and sometimes some health boosts and other goodies as well. Also, I'm wondering how much Mario inspiration there was here, as there is clearly an enemy inspired by the Hammer Bro in F.I.S.T. He just keeps throwing hammer-like objects in your direction, and these guys can be just as annoying as they are, especially when you have groups of several enemies. They can easily be the difference between life and death. Now, overall, Fist is a wonderful game, and whether you're a newcomer to Metroidvania titles or an experienced veteran, there's something for everyone here, in my opinion. I would gladly welcome more games within this universe, and as someone who doesn't often explore Metroidvania games, this does give me the itch to explore the genre more. I'd recommend this game to all to try out, and for you lucky Game Pass users, you can download this game right now, here in July of 2023. And that will do it for our review of Fist. I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you have, please click that like button below. It definitely helps us out a lot. And also subscribe to our channel if you have not already. We post new game reviews, first impressions, and more from the gaming world, as well as even Comic-Con culture. And speaking of Comic-Con, be on the lookout, as in a few weeks we'll be visiting and attending GalaxyCon in Raleigh, North Carolina once again, here at the end of the month. And we'll be giving our coverage of the entire weekend, including guests, our cosplays, and much, much more. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.